Yeah, so right now I'm actually not doing any. I'm only focusing on keyword research and content. I find that link building for me to be very tedious, and if you do pay someone else to do it, you have to pay money, and you don't know if the links will be any good all the time. In the beginning, I was just doing manual outreach. That actually worked a little bit. So sometimes I would have a helpful guide I put together, and I would just email people saying, "Hey, feel free to link to this or add it to your website if you find it will be helpful for your readers." Another link I got was using the broken link builder technique. That's where you find broken links on someone else's webpage and say, "Hey, I noticed this link doesn't work anymore." While you're in there editing, if you want to link to my website instead, feel free. So I actually got a link that way. But I've never built PBNs or anything like that.
Okay. And for the broken link building, did you say you got one link, or you
Yeah,
did this a few times and it worked okay?
used it a little bit and I got one link from it.
Okay. Just want to emphasize that because I think, circa 2015, 2016, when you were, that's around when you tried it, right?
Oh yeah, in the beginning
Okay.
of
Yeah.
yeah, about a few years ago. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because, and the point being, marketers ruin everything. So now people have done, I mean, I got an email just the other day. Hey, you got a broken link on Niche Site Project. Why don't you link over here? And I was like, I don't know who you are. Your
Yeah.
resource. I mean, it's truly a broken link, but at the same time, it's like, I don't think it works anymore. In theory, it could work, but I think you would have to be approaching maybe like an edu type site or something where they're like, oh, we actually need to update this, and that is a good resource. But I think nowadays it's so abused that broken link building or letting people know that you published a resource, I don't think it really works. I mean, do you have any opinion on that?
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Like marketers do everything, and a lot of other people are using the same exact techniques. So if there's a popular blog that you're reaching out to, they probably get emailed every day about these kind of requests.
Yeah, and I mean, it is an actual way to get links and that sort of thing. But I think unless you're working for a big company and they have a big budget to pay for the resource to do that work, it's probably more work than and more resources than necessary. So
Yeah.
okay, cool. And so at this point, you're publishing content, not super long, not super competitive, and you're just making sure you have the searcher in mind and you want to solve their problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Good summary.
And I'm just curious, like at the time that you were starting, I guess there were a lot of penalties for PBNs and stuff like that. So just curious, did you ever think about doing any gray hat activity, or by that time when you were starting, it was kind of frowned upon already by the people you were following?
Yeah, I didn't quite know what PBNs were until maybe a year ago. So the idea, though, of creating another website to link to mine to influence rankings did occur to me, but I thought it was a lot of work, and I just wasn't up for the work involved in doing that.
So laziness. Okay, that's good. No, I mean,
Laziness helps.
it's a ton of work. I mean, I had some big networks many years ago, like several of us did. And yeah, it's a ton of work. It's a whole other set of activities. And if you just have one other site, not a big deal. But when you have like 25 or 50 or 80, then I mean, it takes a ton of time. There's just overhead and admin, even aside from just actually doing more work. But just imagine having to keep up all these different domain names
Oh yeah,
and stuff like that. So that's cool. That does cut a lot out. Now, do you feel like you're missing out at all from not doing link building?
a little bit. I mean, I've researched competitors in my niche, and you can tell when a site is using PBN when you look at their backlinks, and it's all these little two-page websites are linking to this one website. There's a right way and wrong way to go about these tactics, but if you don't do it quite right, Google could find out, and
Mm-hmm.
to me, it's not worth the risk. Especially now that I'm selling my site,
Mm-hmm.
I can say it's a clean site with no dirty link building.
Yep.
So if you are selling a site, I think it does help that it is clean a little bit. I think buyers are interested in clean sites.
Yeah, a lot, I would say. And I think because a lot of the marketplaces out there are filled with sites that use gray hat, and I know a lot of the brokers, I mean, sites can be successful and the gray hat links do work on some level. However, there's definitely more risk involved. Even if the brokers are telling you, hey, it's totally fine. 80% of our, I'm just making up numbers, by the way. 80% of our sites use these PBN links. They're totally fine. These are fantastic networks. And the broker wants to sell the site, like you have to look at everyone's incentives. And most of the brokers that I know are, upstanding business folks, and they're doing a good job. They wouldn't have an ongoing business if their customers were having issues with the products they're purchasing. But at the same time, hey, if you got a clean site, I mean, I say that's more valuable, and I think you're seeing that now.